Hey everybody, this is a clip from the latest episode of the Randi Rhodes Show. If you want the full episode, you can watch live on Free Speech TV, Dish Channel 9415, DirecTV 348, Sling, Roku, and Apple TV.
The Randi Rhodes Show. Turn up your mind.
Tired from an insurrection you incited against your government? Is your state suffering from predictable consequences of a natural disaster caused by your failed leadership? Then it's time for you to throw your constituents and Constitution away and escape to Cancun. Oh! Constituents underwater? You can be too on one of our reef and shipwreck snorkeling tours. Feeling homesick? Visit the Mayan ruins. No electricity, undrinkable water. It's like you never left Houston. So hurry up. Flee in glee and bask in the glow of red-hot sedition in Cancun.
It's Friday, you bastards! Oh! I hope you have electricity. I really do. If you are in Houston, Austin, San Antonio, Wichita Falls, Odessa, Midland, just anywhere. I know El Paso's okay. I know El Paso is. That's because El Paso has its own grid that they bothered to winterize. Yes, winterization. It's the word for the day, everybody. Winterization. You can put an extra syllable in there if you are a New Yorker to make it winterization. You know, like that. But, wow, now there's water shortages and now there are food shortages. But you know what the beauty is? You know what the beauty here is? Here we were all looking for unity, right? Unity. We must unite. And I did not know how would we unite with an insurrectionist like Ted Cruz, for instance, or even a Lindsey Graham. I'm out, I'm in, I'm out. Every time I'm out, they just pull me back in. Lindsey Graham. And now we know. Now we know. In a time of hyperpartisanship, we, people of all persuasions, can unite in our hatred for Ted Cruz. Oh! There you go. Unity. Isn't it beautiful? Yeah. You know what the best part of this Ted Cruz story is? I hope you heard this part. Hardly anybody is reporting it, but it's in the New York Times article that clearly shows you what was going on in Ted Cruz's homestead. You know, if we're going to talk frontier language. In his homestead there in Houston. They were gathered around the fireplace. It was cold. It was uncomfortable. Heidi was having a moment. And she decided to have a group text moment. Now, I don't know who does this. Perhaps you do. I do not. And I come from New York, where we do have things like block parties with our neighbors. We are rather neighborly. I know nobody thinks of us this way, but it's untrue. It's part of your stereotyping of girls like me, and I resent it. No. We have block parties. We're close with our neighbors. You know, the neighbor kids all play together, and growing up in New York, it's a community thing. But I never heard of this. Have you ever group texted your neighbors to ask them to go on vacation with you? Ew. I never have heard of such a thing. However, apparently Heidi Cruz, Mrs. Cruz, was group texting the neighbors, telling them that they got a great rate at the Ritz-Carlton Cancun, $309 a night, plus great security, right? And the cops will give you an escort to the airport with me and Ted and the kids, as if the cops in Houston had nothing better to do in the midst of this massive rolling blackout, in the midst of people living without electricity for like 80 hours, no water, Berlin things. Berlin, they were literally setting fire to their children's building blocks to keep warm. So the cops had nothing better to do. No, nothing. Anyway, the beauty part of the story is this here part. You know how Ted Cruz got caught fleeing to Cancun for warmth and vacay? Somebody in the group text gave the text messages to the New York Times. Oh, he was dimed. He was dimed by his own damn friends. God, I love that part of the story. That is my favorite thing. Apparently, it's true. It's true. everybody hates Ted Cruz. So when we're looking to unify, when we're looking for something to unite around, it doesn't have to be pallets from the supermarket burning in your fireplace or on your grill. No, it could be Ted Cruz. And at this point, he is so disgusting that he literally blamed, because that is what Republicans do. They're never accountable for their own decisions. Oh no, that whole thing about self-reliance and responsibility and accountability, that's for you. That's for you. That's not for them. That's not for them. They blamed, well, you know, Governor Abbott and Rick Perry and the Lieutenant Governor Dan, who was willing to die for the stock market in the COVID pandemic. Really, he said that he was, you know, he felt lifted when he realized that he was willing to die so the stock market wouldn't tank in the midst of the spring eruption of COVID. Oh, I love these people. Anyway, Lieutenant Dan blamed it on green energy, and Rick Perry blamed it on green. I'm going to explain to you exactly what they're doing, just with real names and dollar amounts today, so you can see exactly who owns your future and who has got your future like a dog with a bone and won't let go of the past. And this is the future that they want, okay, for us. But anyway, so they invited their friends. Their friends actually were so incensed at their insensitivity that they gave the text messages to the New York Times, and Ted Cruz needed to blame something or somebody. And so he blamed his 10-year-old and his 12-year-old, saying that they wanted to go on vacation. They were the ones that wanted to go to Cancun. He's literally blaming preteens because they wanted to go on vacation. That's the twisted part of Ted Cruz's BS, is that everything and everybody is to blame for his decision as head of the household, you know. I'm sure his preteens want a unicorn that farts sparkles too. Learn to say no, Ted. Learn to show them that you have a responsibility as an elected official who has been given the public trust to be a leader. Show them leadership. No, instead, and you know what else? They have a dog, a little poodle named Snowflake. And they left Snowflake all alone in the freezing house when they went to Cancun under police escort while Heidi Cruz's friends dropped a dime on them with the New York Times. Oh, such a good story. But you know, there's a reason that Lindsey Graham once said that if you, I don't even want to say this, but Lindsey Graham, I'm quoting, this is not me, this is Lindsey Graham. He said that if Ted Cruz was killed in the Senate on the Senate floor and there was a trial in the Senate, no one would be convicted. No one. Apparently, everyone hates Ted. I almost feel sorry for him. The only friend he's got left in the world seems to be Don Jr., who was coked out of his mind last night. Did you have, I mean, I don't, this story finally got printed this morning. It's making the rounds this morning, but I saw it last night. He was on Twitter and aimed a camera at his freaky face. He was obviously lit on something. I don't know. I mean, Ted Cruz, Mexico, did he smuggle drugs on his way back too and give them to Don Jr. so Don Jr. could snort up, shoot up, toke up, whatever he's doing with the Mexican and get on Twitter and defend Ted Cruz? Because I'm telling you, this kid ain't right. There's something wrong with him. Oh, and by the way, the CDC discourages willy-nilly travel for no, real reason in the middle of the pandemic. And Ted Cruz's girls go to a private school that have a requirement that if you do international travel, you have to be tested and isolate while you're waiting for your test. So they wouldn't be in school next week either. What is wrong with these privileged freaks? Go to randyrhodes.com for the whole thing and a podcast. Bye. Hey everybody, this is a clip from the latest episode of The Randi Rhodes Show. If you want the full episode, you can watch live on Free Speech TV, Dish Channel 9415, DirecTV 348, Sling, Roku, and Apple TV.